Sam Perez joins us live this morning. Sam, good morning.
Good morning, Heather. I'm going to show you some of the damage that we're seeing. So here behind me, you can see this truck. It is absolutely crushed. As development continues in Townsend, some residents say they're worried that this will turn into this. But local leadership in Townsend tells me that the infrastructure won't support this type of development. From candy to spices to produce, you can find almost anything you need at this market. I'm walking through it right now, and we've been here all morning, and thankfully we really haven't seen any issues. Aaron did a snow angel. I've got to too. I don't have as much snow to work with, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Oh, they're still going.
And when we got here, there was no snow on the ground, and that picture looks vastly different now. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see I-40 behind me. Evacuation orders do remain in place while crews are working to make sure all the roads in the area are safe. Coming up in the next few minutes, I'll have an interview live with the Tellico Plains mayor to give you the latest information. I want to try it out. I have a carrot right here.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
Wow.
Kisses from the camel. TDOT says that nearly 7,000 drivers go across this bridge every single day. The jury came into the courtroom about 5:15 this evening. This booth is always open. When you step inside, you can use this phone to call your loved one. There is one tiny slowdown. You can see some cones here on I-40 in Sevier County. This is near Kodak, and there is a little bit of road resurfacing that's happening. That might slow you down if you're in that area, but it was supposed to wrap up around 6 o'clock, so no major slowdowns there. Looking at our map of the area as a whole, though, we are seeing a lot of green, so good news this morning. All of your drive times also sitting in the green. Breaking news this morning, an earthquake hit parts of East Tennessee this morning just after 9. As we're waking up this morning, the AP is projecting that former President Donald Trump is the winner of the election, picking up Wisconsin within the last few hours. And the community is just days into recovery after a deadly tornado hit the area last week. A truck driver is facing a dozen charges after a deadly crash near Chattanooga. One person is dead after a mass shooting near the campus of Tennessee State University. That announcement came from authorities just a few hours ago, a little after 11 o'clock last night. Right now, everyone who was evacuated can return home. There was people passing out water bottles and food, just checking on one another. From restaurants and hotels to bookstores and vintage shops, downtown Knoxville's business landscape is constantly changing as old businesses move out and new ones move in. This is Scott, and he's very excited right now. Team USA's women's basketball won gold this morning in their matchup against France. A guitar that will never strum again, a calendar stuck in time, a blanket forever without warmth, all sights here in Swannanoa.
It's almost like you're watching a movie.
But for Emily Russell, it's her new reality after Hurricane Helene tore apart the home she's lived in her entire life while she was inside.
When I seen the water coming up and it kicked in my front door and then our back door at the same time, and within 30 seconds it went from starting to come to up to my neck.
She tells me she was stuck inside for over 12 hours, sitting in a mixture of water and gasoline.
Do I jump out the window and try to float on something so that I'm not about to die and drown and smell gas, or do I just sit in the bedroom and wait for help?
I got a truck wrapped around the tree there, my tractor, and a Corvette underneath the trailer over there, and a Mustang over there in the field.
Danny Bailey has lived next door since 1968. When the rain started, he was able to evacuate. Now he's lost everything.
It's really hard to see other people that are way worse off than we are.
Fred Forrester has lived just down the road for 24 years. He's spent days digging the river silt out of his home.
We have already emptied 2 rooms. We've got 3 bedrooms yet to empty out and rip carpet out of.
It's hard work, made harder without running water, power, or cell service.
How do you clean your hands? There's no showers.
But Forrester says he's just glad he has a home still standing.
That all cuts pretty deep.
A community torn apart in just one day.
I started fishing at a really early age, and it just grew from there.
13-year-old Kendricks Nicely grew up fishing at the lake almost every weekend. Many of his memories with his dad.
He was pretty happy. He really enjoyed family time, and He really liked fishing too. When he had his time to, he would.
But then in 2022, Kendrick's dad passed away. One of the few items Kendrick's had from his father was a fishing pole, until recently when he was on Norris Lake.
It was on our kayaks, and I paddled too fast, and the wind caught the back of it, and it fell off the back of the kayak.
Kendrick's watched it sink to the bottom and thought it was gone. But then his grandmother called Jason Hopkins, a diver.
We don't just find lost objects. We reunite items to family members and friends who thought that their long-lost treasure may never be reunited with them.
Along with his partner, Kedrick McKenzie, Hopkins has made a career out of finding lost items.
Apple watches are almost as common as rocks under the water.
The most important thing is knowing where the item went in. You know, feet matter underwater, so we try to get a precise location of where it went in.
After a few minutes underwater, Jason found what he had been looking for, reuniting Kendrick's with the special item.
To see the smiles on Kendrick's face is priceless, absolutely priceless.
We ain't got a lot of his stuff, so it really meant a lot for me to get it back.
You've spent weeks looking into what this is like.
John, that's right, which included spending hours there at the bus stop. I was there for an entire day talking to people and seeing firsthand what it's like.
This is a cat bus stop in East Knoxville that also serves as a Greyhound bus stop. There's no signage, limited cover from the sun or the rain, no restrooms, and no access to food or water.
To be honest with you, it is kind of sad.
Knoxville resident Tyler Frederick tells me he uses the Greyhound bus to visit his mother in Georgia once a month. Last time he tried to take it, it was storming, so he hid from the rain in these bushes before giving up after 2 hours. You were not able to go, so you canceled your whole trip, didn't get to see your mom.
Frustrating.
This is Jesse Adams' first time riding a Greyhound, trying to get back home to upstate New York after spending 6 days in Knoxville visiting a friend.
It looks like it's a hot box.
But for Sammy Guerra, who's visiting the United States while on break from university in Australia, sitting in that hot box feels like a safer option.
I was just like, is this safe? Because obviously I'm by myself, I'm a female.
A concern that's rising as the sun starts to set for people like Johnny Hall from South Dakota.
Everything I heard shuts down at 10. So there's an hour and 45 minutes with no restroom at all, no place to get any kind of soda. You get thirsty pretty quick. Yeah, and you get exhausted pretty quick too.
These poor people got to sit out here. It don't make no sense. It's torture. They got to sit out here for hours.
Sean Martin rides the cat bus every day, getting off at the East Knoxville bus stop, where he sees Greyhound riders stretched along the road.
This right here, these people sitting out here like that, is ridiculous.
This is the first one that's been like this here in Knoxville that is just on the side of the road. Because all the ones I've been to before they've had big stations, you know, like Columbia.
It's where Jean Horde is trying to go to see her son, but her 6:35 p.m. bus was delayed until 8.
He's having to work around, you know, being late to work to have to pick me up at the bus station.
It's not only this bus stop here in Knoxville that's experiencing issues. As our sister stations across the United States have been reporting, there are stops all over the country that have similar issues, from Washington to Texas to Georgia and beyond.
Greyhound is a privately owned company, so there's absolutely nothing to do with the city, and so they're doing this all across the United States.
But here in Knoxville, the stop is in City Councilwoman Gwen McKenzie's district.
We've tried to work with them. We've actually even made them an offer to use the CAT terminal downtown, and they declined.
A spokesperson for the city says it does not have any regulatory oversight over Greyhound or any partnership with the company, so it says Greyhound is solely responsible for its operations. The city says Greyhound has been negotiating with private property owners, but to the city's knowledge, has not reached an agreement yet for another location. Quote, that said, the city has consistently and strongly recommended that Greyhound partner with another private business that can offer restrooms, indoor shelter with heating/air conditioning, and 24-hour operations with food options.
We reached out to Greyhound with 10 questions about the bus stop, current operations, and future plans. They declined to answer any of our questions. But a Flix North America spokesperson wrote, quote, "We look forward to continuing to provide Knoxville and the surrounding area with affordable, accessible, sustainable, long-distance transportation." And that was a look at waiting for the bus, but I did also buy a ticket and ride the Greyhound to see what that experience was like.